Hi guys, this is John from Walton's TV. What is MSG and how does it relate to umami? MSG, or monosodium glutamate, is a naturally occurring amino acid that first entered into the mainstream consciousness back in the 80s and 90s when there were health debates over its use in the food industry. I'm not going to try to convince you one way or the other on the health issues associated with MSG. You can easily Google it, and there are plenty of articles out there, both for and against its use. I would encourage you to do your own research if you want to know more about it. The one thing I will say is there is strong evidence that an extremely small portion of people do have a bad reaction to MSG. This can result in headaches of varying degrees of severity. Like I said, I'm not going to go into the health issues. The FDA says it's okay for use in food products, and at this point, that's good enough for me. It just means that if it does have MSG, then there is not an MSG-free version of it. Monosodium glutamate has to be listed plainly as an ingredient in any seasoning that uses it, so you can easily check on waltonsinc.com by selecting the seasoning, then scrolling to the bottom and clicking on the additional information tab. MSG occurs naturally in many foods, such as mushrooms, cheese, and tomatoes, but for it to be used commercially, it is the result of a fermentation of a starch. MSG works as a flavor enhancer and is commonly added to canned or packaged foods to make them taste fresher or to increase an already present flavor. MSG is an inexpensive ingredient. We sell 5 pounds of it for less than $15. So it's often used in conjunction with more expensive ingredients to cut back on production costs. It is able to be used this way because to some degree MSG takes on or enhances the flavor of whatever you add it to. So say you had a recipe that called for a lot of nutmeg. Well, nutmeg is currently very expensive, so what some companies will do is cut back on the nutmeg and add MSG. You've probably heard the word umami pop up in the past couple of years. For those of you who do not know, umami is defined as a strong, meaty taste, and it is now considered one of the basic flavors, along with sweet, sour, bitter, and salty. If you think of it in those terms, then there has to be a designation for something like umami out there, right? Would you call your steak sweet, sour, bitter, or salty? If you would call it one of those, then you've been cooking your steaks all wrong, and you should check out our post on reverse searing a steak to see what you should be doing. You should probably check out that post anyway, as reverse searing a steak gives you a beautifully cooked steak every time. Some foods said to have umami flavor are beef, chicken, pork, some cheeses, tomatoes, and mushrooms. Now that's a pretty good list other than the mushrooms, which in my opinion should just never be eaten. So how are MSG and umami connected? Well, you taste something with an umami flavor through the same taste buds or receptors that you taste glutamates in. So since MSG is a glutamate, we can assume that since they are experienced through the same receptors, that they will probably taste very similar or at least go together, right? Well, we could, but by now you guys should know us well enough that we're never gonna pass up an opportunity to fire up the grill. For science. I went out and purchased a bottom round manager's special steak from the grocery store. I think it was like $5, and I figured we could have a need for a cheap steak in here at some point. We're gonna cut it in half, marinate both in Excalibur's authentic steakhouse sauce, but on one, we're gonna add some MSG, and the other we're gonna leave just the marinade, and we'll see which one tastes better. So I just pulled these off the grill. I used our grill grates to get the temperature up as high as possible. Had it with the grill grates probably around 575 to 600 degrees. Put them on just a couple of minutes aside. They've been marinating for a while, plus we added the MSG to one of them. Just from the smell, they both smell delicious. And I didn't think the MSG would make any difference as far as from a smell standpoint. Where we're really thinking to see it is the taste. Now remember, these were both pretty cheap steaks. I think it was like $5 or maybe even less for the steak. So I'm expecting it to be pretty chewy. I don't think the MSG is gonna fix that. But here we go, let's give it a shot. This is the MSG one first. So the taste is very good. The authentic steakhouse sauce, really a lot of taste coming through, and I think that does have a lot to do with the MSG. Part of it is it did marinate for quite a bit of time as well. Consistency is, it's cheapsteak. What are you gonna do? But let's check with the MSG free version. So this is the one we did without the MSG. There's actually some good flavor to that as well. Not as much. The MSG definitely is coming through, there's no question. So, should you cook with MSG? From a purely taste standpoint, I think it's a no-brainer. Adds taste to anything that you're cooking, makes the ingredients and therefore the finished product cheaper. Just really, really like it. I've always been a fan of MSG, and I'm lucky enough not to be one of those few people who has an issue with it. From a health standpoint, that's up to you. So if you're looking for something to do with a cheap steak, using Excalibur marinade plus MSG definitely can be effective. Remember, it's not going to improve the consistency, but it will improve the taste. This is actually quite good. I'm pretty happy with that. Make sure you subscribe to Walton's TV and remember to tap the bell next to the subscribe button to get notified about all new videos. Plus like and comment on this video and visit waltonsinc.com and meatgistics.com to find everything about the meat. Thanks for watching. I'm John, and I'll see you guys next time.
Subscribe to Walton's TV to watch more YouTube videos, or shop at waltonsinc.com to find everything but the meat. You can also watch more videos from Walton's TV by clicking here or clicking here.